Yo, what up everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the vlog. Today we're going to be covering some training we're doing leading up to the IBJJF New York Open. We're going to be signing up for that. So using the drive-in, especially leading up to a tournament, you want to think about what your goals are for the day. For us on Saturday, we usually have bigger classes, including our drilling class. So it's a good idea on days like today to bounce ideas off of people and try to get other ideas into your game. Whether you can smash them in a roll or you can't even touch them, you can learn from everyone simply because they may have a different style, something else has clicked for them better, or they're just better in a certain position. But no matter what, ask questions and kind of bounce ideas around. So that's the point of the drilling class especially. But we're going to be covering training and doing some commentary for that, including some rolls at the end. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
Here and then put this hook in here.
Okay, circle up, guys.
When it comes here, now.
Oh, you're right.
So this class is going to start off as any other class, to start jogging around the room. And anybody that's interested in joining Jiu-Jitsu, this is what your very typical warm-up is going to look like, just jogging. Today we are led by, we call him Papa Bruchak, 76-year-old black belt. And just going to get your body moving, get your muscles all warmed up, stretched out, and getting ready to take on what's left in the class.
Quick fall. Count. Crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it looks up like.
On your toes, push back
Got a
up.
whole playlist. And
Get a partner by your side. Do a little basically chest, go down, and get one person into the guard. Then he moves, go. Does whatever he wants, and don't resist. Find a partner, and we got for a while. 1, 2, 3. There he is. Step 2.
So as explained by Papa Bruchak, we're going to be doing some Jiu-Jitsu chess. Basically, your partner's going to make a move with no resistance, and then you're going to make your move back, no resistance. And this is a good way to really get your brain working. Maybe think about some technique you haven't used in a while, some different ways to escape certain positions. And also certain aspects of your game, you can make some realizations about maybe you end up giving up side control very, very often. So you have to really think about ways to get out of there, different ways maybe, so you end up in a different spot. But this is the perfect idea, like I said, to bounce ideas off each other. Right now you can see me and our teenage phenom, Sid, talking about, you know, the next move, like what I would possibly do if they were to sit there and just box the hips out. And, you know, experiment around. There's the time to have some fun. There's no resistance involved. So this is a good way to really get your brain working before going over any new techniques in class. really illustrate what I was talking about earlier with the exchanging of ideals, you'll see right here, I'm gonna take side control, and then Sid's gonna come out, taking a single, turning into a double. And then he says, go, let me move. And I told him just gonna step over in the mount, and he needs to move. And he kind of needed to see visualization, so I told him to go back, and I just simply stepped over.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good. Get out of that. Okay, good job, guys.
Oh, which way?
That way.
So, same thing. Elbows in, here. Move up, bench. Get to here, he's tucking his elbows. Can't get the underhook. I grab the collar. Tactile stand up. Not able to get his head off my hip, so there's going to be no guillotine there. What I'm going to do first, grab the outside of his pant like I'm keeping this hook here. From here, it's just the basic forward roll.
Once he ducks his head, goes over his shoulder.
The most important thing, and this is where I get caught a lot, is I don't let go of the collar and they just come right up. You got to post here. This is your advantage. It's kind of like a scramble here. This is the only thing that's going to win me it. If he comes up and he gets an underhook, I'm screwed. I want it here, like this. From here, he's probably going to try to lock up his legs as a last-ditch effort. I'm going to post on his knee, tactical stand up again, come right back into side.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
So it's important to remember when you're drilling, guys, that you want to nail every detail of the move. But then after you do that, you kind of want to experiment around and figure out what works maybe better for you, what your style is. For me, you know, you see me heading into a mounted triangle. Maybe you see me right here heading into a knee on belly. You know, maybe going directly into the side control is not what you want to do. Maybe you're not as fast in the scramble. Whatever the case may be, play around a little bit. See what works better for you. Maybe you'll find out the next best thing for you while you're doing it. But don't forget to nail all your details. This is where you figure out the move and make sure it's proper before you try to implement it in a roll or in a match. So as you can see, me and Sid are experimenting. We're talking through different things, trying out different ideas here. I'm going to drop some elbows on him just to be safe. But figure out what works out for you as instructed. You know, if you want to step on the knee and take side control, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me specifically, I like to be on top and apply a lot of pressure as much as I can for my size. So here you see me step over into a quarter guard. I cross his arm over. Now his quarter guard is basically useless. I can either go into tech mount or take the back. You know, that's just me. And just experiment around, guys.
Okay, guys, over at the wall. The door, I should say.
Papa Bruchak's about to make one last point before we roll, and that is if you're ever in doubt, go back to the building blocks of Jiu-Jitsu, your basic fundamental ideas.
Okay, and this time, when you do the move, what he's going to do is lock half guard, and he goes over. Lock your half guard on the leg. Okay, so at this point, what Sid has to do is break that. You break it, push that up, and then Sid's going to go to mount. Immediately mount. Okay, now that he's in mount, the other person's turn. So you're going to have a flow now. So at this point, hands on hips. Get up, get in there. Same thing, same motion. Notice how he keeps that leg in to bring it over. A lot of people are losing the leg, so they're not getting the actual. And then come out. And now Sid's going to do the same thing. Very quick. Looks good. Nice. Kicks it over, comes to mount. And now, see, all you got to do is just step over. Immediately in mount. You got it twice. Okay, any questions? 1, 2, 3.
So I just want to kind of point something out to you guys, maybe especially the newer people. So remember I said in the beginning while you're drilling to really hammer home the details and make sure you got them all right before you try to implement them in your rolls or in your matches. If you watch closely and then look back at the beginning of the video, me and Sid are both doing it. We're guilty. We're coming over and we're not letting go of the collar to place our hand down to incite that scramble. Both of us are keeping the collar and then stepping over. So we kind of lost that detail a little bit. It's a good thing we have it on video. But make sure that you hammer home those details. They're the difference in your matches between winning and losing, and we missed that one this time, and that's our fault.
turn your body and come to my side like you did before.
There we go. And then
Keep turning. 15 seconds. Keep turning back. No, going the wrong way. Keep turning. Then you reach in and grab this free hand. Right there. You're going to duck your head and roll.
Okay, one more thing, Joe. If we are doing our basic, he's got the half guard on me. Let's not forget that we can also do this with a basic half guard pass, because he's got this here. Okay, what I'm going to do, what do I do with a half guard? Come in, like this, right here like this. I bring the foot up, I bring this over, and then I walk up like this. And then I drop this down like that, and that breaks his half guard. So remember, when you're in a half guard position, that's something you can do, or you can just slide right through. Like you guys are doing it so fast, you're not getting that locked. But don't forget, in your half guard, it's really important to be able to do this properly. So you want to make sure that you're going to lock this guy up. Okay, get your hand, your knee right to the side. Put your hand on your hip, other hand here, then just walk this foot up as far as you can. This foot walk it, and then you just slide it over. Now at this point, I'm going to walk up. Now I'm holding this loop right here. Let go. I press across, and he breaks it. You end up in your full mount. So don't forget that very important sequence, which is easy to forget. You get stuck in that half guard, just struggling. You don't think about the fact that what you're doing is using proper leverage. Because if I'm trying to pull out like this, he's got that half guard, I'm going to end up pulling him on top of me. I see that happen a lot. You're in bad position here. Of course, by then, I'm in my own half guard. So what does Joe do here? Basically, see how he gets that arm around? He gets that hand down, reaches around my neck, grabs my hip, pushes his elbow down tight, presses it over at the same time. It's like the knee and the elbow are fastened together. He walks this up, and then because I've still got this locked, he presses down, and I'm going to let go. There we are. Now, you can start again. So let's just do that simple sequence. Mount, half guard, pass, and continue on, okay? That way you can do it as a drill with your partner. 1, 2, 3, go. I'll put some time on the clock, and you guys can get started.
Don't forget, when you're drilling these moves, guys, your own personal immediate goals. Here I'm telling my boy Fausto, here's your half guard pass. He's going to be testing for blue in the next few weeks. So don't forget your own goals when you're doing these moves, guys, whether it be to master your details, whether it be to learn it, or to just figure out a new way to escape a certain position. But no matter what it is, have a goal while you're drilling this. As we finish up the drilling here, you're going to see me and Sid disperse as per instruction of Papa Bruchak. One of the responsibilities of being an upper belt is to help the newer belts along, and so he told us to go out and help a couple of the other groups because he's only one pair of eyes, and that way we can have three and we can kind of help point out some simple mistakes that are being made. And this is how the whole gym grows, is the blue belts and above helping out the white belts and pointing things out to them. Now the moment everybody's been waiting for, we're going to start rolling, starting with the butterfly guard. The person with the butterfly guard needs to either sweep or submit, and the person on top just needs to pass into at least side control. Here you're going to see me putting a lot of pressure on Joe, and he tries to put his knee under my knee to get me off balance and ends up just sliding through and giving me mouth. And so we have a good laugh about that.
Okay, you win.
And just goes to show, man, one simple miscalculation and you can give up a position. That would be 4 points in a tournament. You know, just silly things, but it's all good. All right, so now it's going to be me and Sid. Me and Sid are we're very evenly sized. I've got about maybe 10, 15 pounds on him at most. But he started wrestling now too, so his takedown defense has gotten a lot better. I can't just grab a single anymore. So, gonna be fighting, and he's so scrappy. He's hard to hold coming up. And I should have been able to finish this. I've kind of hit the knee. I should have been trying to sweep out the ankle. But he's gonna try to hit what we did in class, a variation of it, end up in almost a single leg X. Here I'm gonna take the front headlock, go for the guillotine, but he jumps over and then he blocks my leg. So as I'm trying to get my leg out, he's trying to drive to his side.
Hold it, guys, hold
it. Everybody tells me to reset. I'm like, oh, come on, I've almost got it.
Start over again.
So we're just going to reset in the middle there.
That was really cool.
And doesn't matter, no matter what, guys, take your ego outside the door. No matter who wins the rolls, you just need to learn, do what you can do better. So there, I get my sweep, end up on top. Joe's coming back in for his revenge. He's still obviously very visibly upset from the last one. And so he's going to do everything he can. My butterfly guard is pretty weak. I go into half guard and Joe immediately starts going for a collar, which does two things. One, it threatens a submission. And more importantly, it blocks my far side underhook. I can't start my offense without the underhook. And he shuts both of those down while also attacking. So it's a very, very good move by him. Being very heavy, his elbows touching very, very tight. And even if I do start to get it, he just reinserts it. He steps over here. I'm not going to lie, I had no idea what to do here. I had to think about it later on. But he's attacking. So far, I'm still holding my half guard. I go in for another single. And as I'm trying to drive, I should be up and stepping around. But instead, I realize that Joe has my pant leg, so I can't move. And so I'm just trying to reach for his other ankle, which he has out wide, or he's very, very heavy on it. But no matter what, he has me paralyzed. I can't move as long as he has my pant leg like that. So we're kind of stuck right now. And so eventually I am going to, I'm trying to kick my leg out, I try to take the back, and I left my elbow flared out. And again, somebody as tough as Joe, that's the only mistake he needs. I go for the back. He manages to scoot his hip out. I should have been pushing his hips down lower, but here he's gonna finish the Americana and I lose my spot. Well, one mistake against somebody as tough as Joe, that's all he needs, and he's gonna take a submission, or at least he's gonna take a better position. And so don't forget, guys, like I said, have fun when you're in the gym. That's what's important. Try to learn. So while you guys are watching Sid and Joe roll, I want to point out two things. One, as you can see, I said before, Sid is really scrappy, even with Joe, who has 25, maybe 30 pounds on him. And also, you see Joe with the reverse triangle. This is usually where me and Joe end up, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably why I need to go to a chiropractor now a couple times a week, is I won't tap, and he won't let go, and everything's uncomfortable. But you're going to see here, he tries to transition to an armbar. Sid expertly escapes and comes out inside. This should be the match, but I think everybody was enjoying themselves too much watching these guys go. So we just let them keep going anyways, which leads to me now having to go over to my boy Brian here. And when you're facing a big guy, you really get to find out where your technique lies, because obviously I'm not going to out-muscle Brian, and if I do my stuff incorrectly, it's not going to work. So we start, and I start trying my usual pass, which he starts heading straight into a guillotine, which is great because both my hands are occupied. But now you're going to see something you don't see very often, and that is a 146-pounder is going to stack past the 230-pounder, and I love it. Like I said, very, very heavy pressure on top, but I think his foot or something gets into my lapel. Yeah, his foot's on my elbow, so I couldn't settle down. I'm trying very hard. I got my knee on his chest. I'm trying just to settle and take the position. But now he has the other leg over my head. He's holding. And like I said, I'm trying to be very cautious because I don't want to get out of position with the size advantage especially. So I'm going over. Last ditch effort, I'm going to go for a knee bar, which I've only drilled a couple of times. I'm not very good with it, as you can see. He comes up, and right there, his knee slips out. So really, this move is gone unless I can figure out a way to lift his hips and reestablish this. But like I said, I'm giving up 80, 90 pounds. I'm not going to be able to lift his hips up. My fault. I tried to settle when I didn't have anything ready to go for a last-ditch effort, and that's where that's going to end up. Bam! Deadliest woman in the entire gym, Margot, going for the big pose. Have fun in the gym, guys. Don't ever forget it. Last round of the day, we're going to watch a little bit of Brian and Harrison. Harrison is also a judo black belt, but we're also going to see a difference in styles. He steps up and starts attacking the knees, which is probably a lot smarter than what I did. But now you're going to see he's dropping his knee. Brian's keeping feet and everything he can in the middle, and that's where time's going to run out. So Harrison's style and that attack specifically is different, but obviously neither one is more wrong or more correct than the other. It's just whatever works for you in a certain situation.
I saw a lot of people really making use of the word drilling today. That was nice to see. Margo, great class. That was really nice. Hey, any final questions? You guys did a great job today. You can see how those things transition. If anyone was in the earlier class with Kyle, and see how they came from what he did to this. And the thing about all of these moves, we go back to basics. Basic passes, basic side control, basic escape from half guard, and basic, except for these two ridiculous people.
That's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, go watch the other 3. Also, like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, we'll have another video up hopefully in a couple of weeks to highlight some more training before the spring open. And up until then, guys, go ahead, train, and enjoy yourselves. We out. I am done. Can't feel my arms. Don't forget, guys, if you're up in the upstate New York area, come check out Saratoga Alliance Jiu-Jitsu. And also, if you need a rash guard, check out Deepwater Fightwear. See ya.